Okay, Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Hey, Annie Boone says, what's your stance on x-rays? Would you recommend it for a natural whelp? Could it harm reproductive system in the future? Well, the answer is no. There's very little danger for x-rays. I mean, it's all about things called REMs, radiation equivalent man, how many REMs you're getting. And the answer is that, for a human being, I don't know about for dogs, but it's going to be similar. There's a limit to how many x-rays, like chest x-rays, you want to have in a year, because there is a small risk to it. But in terms of your dog, the risk to reward is much safer to do an x-ray. X-rays are safe, and yes, you should do an x-ray for a natural whelp because you want to know how many puppies are coming down the pike. So when you've finished the whole process, you know you're done. So absolutely go get an x-ray done.
If you're having natural, yeah.
Absolutely, you bet.
And there's some people that like to get x-rayed before they have puppies when they're doing a C-section, just because they're excited and they want to tell everybody how many.
Sherry Hilbert. Also, you can insert non-flavored Pedialyte into the rectum. They also have an IV solution you can give your dog while on the way to the animal clinic. Yeah, I mean, so what the idea here is that it kind of sounds kind of crazy, but if you want to get things into a body quickly, one of the best ways to do it is through a rectal enema, because the tissues there are very absorbent. So, if you're having problems giving an IV, you can't start an IV line, don't want to stick it in their neck, then I think that the enema's probably okay. Can't hurt.
You do unflavor, it said?
Non-flavored. I don't know why they make a difference. She also says reduce ear stain is purified water we use for
the difference would be when the dog passes gas, if it was strawberry flavored, you'd smell strawberries. Sorry, I had to say that.
Oh dear. So true. What does that taste like? Oh, it's strawberries.
No, you wouldn't taste it. I don't know. There's some. You wonder. Got your mouth open. You're like, ooh.
She also talks about a treatment here for tear stains with some apple cider vinegar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Carlos Peralta. My female has all the signs of being pregnant this morning. Nipples got bigger. She's most of the time sleeping today. 37 days. Ultrasound on her, but no puppy showed. Yeah. I do a relaxing pregnancy test. Do you think she's not? Should I do a relaxing pregnancy test? Yeah, I would. Just because ultrasounds do miss things. They get them wrong. It's quite common.
Well, like Deja Vu, I just knew she was pregnant and was all excited about it because of the breeding that we were doing.
Yes. We
did a pregnancy test.
2 of them.
Yes, and the first one was out of date, so we did another one, and I still was in denial that she wasn't pregnant because I just knew she was, and
she wasn't.
I waited till her due date even to think, what if, and had the vet check her, and no.
Jenna Farmer, what age do you need to look out for flat chests in puppies? What age do you think, Tammy, you start worrying about flat chests in puppies?
Probably when they start crawling around.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, no. They're
lower than that?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, 3 weeks for sure. Because
yes.
They are more moving around.
So we've got puppies right now. We'll do a video today, by the way, of Kit's babies. And they are now 9-10 days old. Eyes are open.
They were born on a...
Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday?
So Wednesday will be 8 and 9, 10 days old. So we're going to look at them flat chests because they are bigger puppies. And so you've got this danger that they've got lots of milk, small litter.
Couldn't believe how big those puppies were. They're making up for Deja Vu not having babies, right. I guess.
But the recipe is a big puppy with a mum with lots of milk makes for a lazy puppy that gets a flat chest. And so, you can't. If the chest starts to feel flat, you get on it early. Earlier you get on it, the better. Take this street. Yeah. It's actually down forth. I haven't been paying attention. You may have gone too far.
And I'm going to go back to saying why dogs don't get pregnant sometimes. Maybe they're still young.
Oh, sure.
You know, like Deja Vu, her first heat cycle, she had a double heat. Her second one, she did some funny numbers. So, you just don't ever know why they didn't get pregnant. So I'm going to say it's because of deja vu. So
yep. So here's one from some time. This is Christine Hand. Thank you for all your videos and efforts. I remember you and Tammy from the Secret Gardens.
Oh,
and several of my friends got married. Yeah, well, that's Christine Hand. So that's great. My question is, if I used your stud service, could I pick the semen up in person instead of being shipped? I mean, Oklahoma. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So she gives us some DNA of her girl. So she's got, let's go over the DNA real quick since she puts it here. Her dog is a non-brindle Merle fluffy carrier. It's blue and with tan points. So it's a blue that carries, cocoa. And doesn't carry cream, Merle with 5 points. Well, I know who I'd breed to. That dog. I'd breed that dog to Buble. Because you want to get fluffies and fluffy carriers out of this, because that's where really the
she does carry fluffy.
Yeah, she carries copy fluffy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So with Buble, what you would get would be half blues that carry cocoa and cream, and half lilacs that carry cocoa.
Be nice.
Be a nice dinner. Which half
and
of them would be
full fluffies,
half fluffy carriers. Be a very nice
cool.
litter. The other dog is a lilac, non-fluffy. And so for that dog, I would maybe consider breeding. Yeah, Bazinga would be the first guy on the lower end of the totem pole in terms of price. Well, I do Bazinga, small dog. He's a lilac and tan.
Oh yeah.
Get all lilac and tans. Yeah. Some of them will carry cream. No brindles and no pieds. If you wanted to step up from that, then I would be looking at a Merle, and that would be Picasso, very small dog, also a lilac and tan that carries cream. Or move up to Mando, to a full fluffy version of a blue that carries cocoa and cream. Beautiful dog.
You'd have Merles and half not, and half full fluffies. And, oh no! She'd get fluffy carriers all, because that dog doesn't carry.
Yes. So, but I would say this.
Hers doesn't.
We'd love to be part of that process, and Kristen, give us a call, 580-799-2873, and let's discuss all the options.
And if you can't get a hold of James, call Cody at 806-664-0173.
You'll get hold of me. I want to talk to you because you're at the Secret Garden, so I want to say hi. But anyway, that's great. MCA says, I love the constant road drama during the videos. You need to be here and experience it. It's like taking your life.
You ought to live with us.
It's like you take your life in your own hands every time you drive somewhere with Tammy. It's an interesting trip. Yeah. Okay.
He's so perfect.
I am, in my own mind.
Oh man.
I produced a puppy. Same girl that says. I produced a puppy with the same white markings with a blue brindle mom and a fawn black masked male. It's beautiful and lives with my brother. I did not repeat this breeding because a few people had minor corkscrew tails. However, I'd like to know the genetics of his markings. Yeah, well, I'm getting DNA back on these dogs, so we'll get more information. I'm still unclear as to exactly what makes a Urahira. I suspect it has to be maskless for a start. But it's confusing. I don't know the answer yet. Mr. B says, love your content. Recently bought a stud. He's a pup, got his DNA back, but don't know how to price him. What do you guys think? So here is the DNA. He's 80-80, 10 points. KY doesn't have brindle. Little CO, so he is chocolate or cocoa. Little D, so he is he is blue, so that makes him a lilac. Carries a copy of testable chocolate, big B, little b, and 2 copies of intensity, no pied. So this is basically a lilac and tan that carries a copy of testable, no brindle, no pied, 2 copies of intensity. So, what is the value on this dog? Well, also he says big E, little e, so he carries a copy of cream. It's got really nice DNA. I don't know the structure of the dog, so I don't know any of his pedigree, so I'm just going to assume he's a nice structured dog. I hope so, because otherwise you shouldn't be using him. And so what's that dog value, that dog? Well, I think that prices are down, so maybe one should adjust for that. I think that basically you should be pricing this dog for about 10% of the value of the litter that he'd produce, with the appropriate dog to get his colours out. So with that in mind, I would say that this dog should start out at about $3,000 and ramp it up from there if you can get him busy. And I would think that ultimately you might get him to something pushing $4,500 or $5,000. My thoughts. It's all about your marketing. It's all about how the dog looks. And it's all about results. That's just a kind of a starting point for you, so for what it's worth. Somebody's, Adam Hernandez is chastising me for cutting you off.
Oh, yeah?
It's funny, people chastising you for cutting me off.
Yeah.
And now somebody's in your camp.
Right.
So there's one for Tammy right there. Last question for this one. Chen Yao says, if I bred my lilac and tan female to a new shade that has 2 copies of testable, well, it has to have 2 copies of testable if it's a new shade, right? You can't say a new shade with 2 copies of testable. It has to have 2 copies of testable. So you're breeding a new shade to a lilac. With the whole litter be lilac and tan carrying testable. So the answer is yes, they would all be lilac dogs that carry a copy of testable. But you didn't say that the new shade was a new shade with tan points, so we don't know whether they'd be lilac and tans. So the very least they would be lilacs that carry tan points and carry testable, with the information you gave me. That's the very least. And that's it for this one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.